Here is your video for the Unit 3 test corrections. Number 1 says an inequality is shown below. Which number line represents the solution set for the inequality? So the first thing we have to do is we have to solve the inequality. We can notice that with our variable x, there is a negative attached to it, meaning our sign has to flip. So this inequality sign flips the other way. So now we're looking at less than. Next, then we can draw our line to solve our inequality. We want to get x by itself, so we start with the number without an x. So we do the opposite of positive 8, which is minus 8. What we do to one side, we do to the other. 8 and negative 8 cancel out. 18 minus 8 is 10. We're going to bring down that negative 2x. Then we need to divide by negative 2. These cancel out here. What we do to one side, we do to the other. So now we have 10 divided by negative 2, which is negative 5. We can bring down our x, and our inequality sign from the very top that we had to flip is now less than. So we have to find which one says x is less than negative 5. Here we have x is greater than 5. Here we have x is greater than negative 5. Here is x is greater than negative 5 or equal to. And here we have our correct answer of x is less than negative 5. So D is our answer. Number 2 says Miss Jacobs is a photographer. For each job, she charges $135 for the first hour. So let's highlight that information because it is important. She works, and then $100 for each. $100 for each. Okay, each is super important because that tells us what our multiple time is, our M. It says Miss Jacobs charged a total of $535 for a job on Friday. So it tells us total, which is our Y. Let's get the highlighter. Total is $535. Which equation can be used to determine H, the number of additional hours she worked in this job? So we can see that $135 is our one-time fee. So this is our one time. One time also means B. The blue, 100 for each, is our M, the multiple, the thing that happens multiple times. And it says our total is our Y, which is also the total. So then we have to use our formula, Y equals mx plus b. We're just going to plug in what we know. We know Y was 535. We know the M was $100. The X stays the same. And then we're going to add the 135, the one-time fee. So now we need to match up our equations. We have 535 in the total, so it has to equal 535. Right now we can eliminate one answer, which is D, because it has 135H by itself. The rest of them have our 535 and the equal sign. Next, we're going to look at the 100X, or H in this equation. So we notice that this one has our 100H, and that's actually it. So we can eliminate B and A. We are left with C. Now let's go ahead and check just to make sure it's the plus 135, and it is. So C is your answer. Number 3 says an equation is shown below. Which problem situation could represent the equation 6 plus 0.5x equals 26? So we know this 26 is our total. We know the 0.50 is our m, the thing that happens multiple times, and 6 is the b. So again, b is the one time, m is the multiple times, and 26, our total, is going to be y. So looking at A, let's try to make an equation off of that. It says a carnival charges $6 to park. So it's one time just to park. So that is our B. 6 equals our B. Plus 50 cents per ticket ride. So since that's per ticket, that's going to be our M because we're doing multiple tickets. So 0.50 equals M. How many carnival rides can a person ride at the carnival if they spent a total of $26? So 26 is our y. So if I were to make an equation for y equals mx plus b, I would get 26 equals 0.50 x plus 6. So that matches our equation perfectly, but let's go ahead and continue on, just to make sure. B says a person downloaded an app for the phone that costs $6, plus some songs that cost 50 cents each. How much did the person pay for the app and songs if they downloaded 26 songs? So in this problem, 6 is still our B. It happens the one time. 0.50 is still our M. But when we see they downloaded a total of 26 songs, that's actually our X, because that's how much 50 cents is going to be multiplied by to figure out how much we paid. So in this problem, we don't have a total, so B is not our answer. C says a dog walking service charges $6 for each hour. So that's our multiple already. So 6 equals M does not follow our equation. So C is wrong. D says Sarah earns $6.50 an hour. $6.50 is not a number that we need, so it can be counted wrong. So A is our answer. Number 4 says Alyssa read 25 pages, so she read 25 pages of a new book the first day she bought it. Okay, so first day still telling me that's a one-time thing. After the first day, she reads 5 pages a day or per day. So that's the multiple times. If the book was 350 page total, which of the following equations can be used to determine how many days it took Alyssa to finish the book? So we have to make our equation y equals mx plus b. So we said 25 pages on the first day, that's our b. 5 pages per day, that's our M. And 350 pages is our total for the book. So we can plug in 350 for y. Our M is the 5x plus our one time, which is 25. So now we need to match up to see what works for our answer choices. So you know 350 is in our total. Looking here, we have 3 that are good. B's is 250, so that is wrong. Now we can move on to 5x. Okay, so 5x here, so far that's okay. C does not have a 5x. D does. Now we can move on to the plus 25. A does not have a plus 25. D does, so D is our correct answer. Number 5 says an equation is shown below. Which number line represents the solution for the equation? So first off, we have to solve. So we draw our line. We have to get the variable by itself, so we have to subtract 10 on this side. So we'll subtract 10 over here. These 10s cancel out. Negative 8 and negative 10 together is negative 18. We're going to bring down this 6x. Now we have to divide by 6. What we do to one side, we do to the other. So we get x equals negative 18 divided by 6, which is a negative 3. So on our number line, we have to find something that is negative 3. This top one, A, is going to be somewhere in the negative point something range, because it is between negative 1 and 0. So that is not our negative 3. The next one is in the positive decimal range because it's between 0 and 1. So that is not our answer. C is negative 3 exactly, so that looks like it could be our answer. And D is positive 3. We know ours is negative, so D is not the correct answer. Number 6 says Jeff bought a bottle of water for $2. So that is a one-time purchase, just one bottle for $2. He also bought some hot dogs, some means more than one, for $3 each. So that's our multiple time. Jeff did not want to spend more than $14 on hot dogs and the bottle of water. Which inequality can be used to find H, the number of hot dogs that Jeff could have bought? So we still have our equation. Y equals mx plus b. The only thing that changes is the equal sign can become an inequality sign. So it can be less than, greater than, or equal to. First, let's see if we can eliminate some answers just based on the numbers given. So we know that they only bought one water bottle, so this is our B, our one-time fee. They bought some hot dogs for $3 each, so this is our M, our multiple. And more than $14, so 14 is our total, the Y. So our Y is 14. The M we said was $3 each. Then we can put our X plus $2 for the water bottle. So we need to look on either side of that equal sign to find 14 to start off with. So far, all of them have 14, so we're good there. Then we need 3x, so 3x is good. Then plus 2. So we can eliminate C and A because they have minus 2. So now we're left with two answer choices. We have to decide if it's more than or less than. So he did not want to spend more than $14 on the hot dogs and bottle of water. So what that means is right here, 3x plus 2 cannot be more than 14, our total. So what that means is I have to figure out which way my sign goes. If I want 3x plus 2 to be less than 14, I need to put the little arrow towards it. So the arrow is pointing towards it because 14 needs to be bigger. Now, he could spend exactly 14, but he didn't want to spend more than. So that tells me that it can also be equal to. So it should have the 14, the bigger side towards the 14, which is B. Number 7 says Michelle wants to buy a new phone. There are several stores that sell the phone she wants, and each store offers different discount. The information on each store's discount offer for the phone Michelle wants to buy is summarized in the table. At which store would Michelle's total cost be the least? So the smallest after the discount. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first one, Big Town Electronics. So I'm going to label this for y'all, BT, Big Town Electronics, BTE. We're going to do the work. It says $120 with 10% off. Anytime we're given a percent, we need to make it a decimal. To do that, all we have to do is move our decimal 2 spaces to the left. So it starts here, we go 1, 2 to get 0.10. We're going to multiply that by 120. So 120 times by 0.1. Since that 0 at the end doesn't really mean anything, we can leave it off. So 0.1 times 120. You get 0, 2, 1. There's one decimal place, so that's $12. So we need to subtract $12. So now we do 120 minus 12. This becomes 10. That's a 1. So we get 108. So I wrote 108 next to it because that is the new price for the phone. Now let's move on to the next one, to Central Phone, CP. So it's just $10 off, so all we do is 120 minus 10 to get 110. Next one is Main Street Mobile, MSM. So it's 30% off, so we move that decimal 1, 2 to get 0.3. So now we do 160 times by 0.3. There's one decimal, so we get $48. So now we need to subtract 160 minus 48, since it's a discount. That becomes 10, that's a 5. So we get 112. Next one, Phone Forum, PF. It's just $16 off, so we do 125 minus 16. Need to borrow. 15 minus 6 is 9. 0 and 1. So we get 109. And then Wireless Inc. There's no discount. So it is just 110. So the smallest one is going to be our 108 right here, which that is Big Town Electronics, A. Number 8 says the model below represents an equation. Create an equation, then determine the value of x, meaning solve, that will make the equation true. Bubble your final response in the grid below. So our total up top, because that is the entire length of that picture, is 21. 21 equals. Then we have x plus 9.4. Now that's kind of a weird looking equation, so we can combine like terms. So we can do x plus x to get 2x plus 9.4 equals 21. From here we just need to solve, so we draw a line. We have to subtract 9.4. So what we do to one side, we do to the other. Positive 9.4 and negative 9.4 cancel out. Now we have to subtract. Now notice, these decimals aren't lined up here, so I'm actually going to do this off to the side. Because if I don't line up my decimals, then I will not get the correct answer. So we have to borrow. This is 10. This is 0. 10 minus 4 is 6. 1 minus 0 minus 9 we can't do, so we have to borrow. So now we got 10 minus 9 is 1, and 1 minus nothing is 1. Bring our decimal straight down, so we get 11.6. Where a lot of people go wrong is they try to do exactly how I lined it up down here and get it wrong. You have to do the separate thing and line up the decimals. Now we're going to bring down our 2x in the equation and continue. Now we have to divide by 2. What we do to one side, we do to the other. These 2's cancel out. Let's do division off to the side. We're going to go top in, bottom out. 2 goes into 1 0 times. Goes into 11 5 times, which is 10. We get 1 left over. Bring our decimal straight up. Our 6 down. 2 goes into 16 8 times. And that is perfect. So we get 5.8. So we're going to put a 5, bubble in the 5.8, bubble in the 8. Number 9 says Eliana purchased some pencils for 45 cents each. So that tells us that is our M, because it happens multiple times. She also purchased a ruler, so that's one ruler for $1.60. Since it's only one, that is our B, our one time. Eliana spent more than $1.75 on the ruler and pencils. So that tells us that is our total, or our Y. So we need to make our equation Y equals MX plus B. Said B was $1.60. The M was 0.45 X. And the total is the $1.75. So we need to now match up in our equation. We know $1.75 should be the total, and that's good in every problem. Now we have 0.45x, or in this case, p. So 0.45p is in all of them. Now it's a plus 160. So here we have plus 160, plus 160. The other two, B and D, are both minus 160, so those are gone. So now we're down to a 50-50 shot. We just have to figure out what more than means. So it said Eliana spent more than, meaning what she spends is over here. Let's highlight that in a color. So that's what she spends, and $1.75 is the total. So the blue has to be more than the green here. What she spends is more than $1.75. Meaning, my big side of the arrow has to go towards what she spends, which is the blue. So it should say $1.75 is less than what she spends. So the small side of the arrow goes towards the 175, and that is C. Number 10 says the model below represents the equation 2x plus 5 equals 11. Since it gave us the equation, we don't really need that picture. But if you needed to know, it says x's are the long rectangles and 1's are the small. So we have 1x, 2x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's how we made the equation. Now let's just solve it. 2x plus 5 equals 11. First thing we do, we draw our line, and we subtract 5 from each side. These 5's cancel out. Now we have 11 minus 5. We all know that is 6. We're going to bring down our 2x. Now we have to divide by 2 on both sides. So we get x equals 6 divided by 2, which is 3. D.